Hi, I'm just harvesting some peppers and deciding what to do with them. It's going to be down into the 40s at night, so I thought I better just harvest some peppers while I can and figure out what to do with these. I decided, after thinking about it for a while, that I wanted to make a type of relish. These are all sweet peppers, so it's going to be like a sweet, tangy kind of relish. I also have some green cabbage here, some onions that I need to use up. I don't know how much of all these onions I'm going to use. Some of them look pretty bad, but this one really looks pretty old. But I'm going to use up these onions, this cabbage, all of these peppers. I also have some frozen carrots that I'm going to put into it. I know that sounds kind of interesting, but it'll all work out. But the first thing I need to do is de-seed all these peppers and get all of the seeds out of all of them. I washed them all up and set them all here. They're all pretty much dry. So I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of all the seeds. Okay, I have the peppers all de-seeded. I'm just going to go ahead and chop them all up and I'll be back. Okay, now that I have the peppers all chopped up, I'm going to go ahead and chop up the cabbage, chop up the onions over here, and I'll be back. Okay, I have the peppers, the carrots, the cabbage. Now I just have to chop up the onions and put the onions in here. Onions and the cabbage all chopped up. I'm going to add probably about 1/4 cup of canning salt. I'm going to stir it together really well. Now that I have it all mixed together really well and salted, I'm just going to cover this and then set this in my refrigerator for about 4 to 6 hours at least. I want the salt to draw a lot of the moisture and liquid out of the vegetables. It's the next day and the salt has done its trick. It is full of liquid now, so I'm going to go ahead and drain it and then rinse off the excess salt because it's pretty salty. I'm just taking it, grabbing some here, putting it in a strainer and squeezing it. Then I'm going to turn some water on and rinse it. And then I'm going to squeeze out the water. Then I'm going to take this and dump it in a pan. And then I'll just keep doing this over and over again until all of it's drained and rinsed. Back in the bowl here, it's all rinsed and drained. I put it back in here because I'm going to use the pan I put it in just so I could clean this out and put it back in here to make the brine. So now I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. I have some jars heating up. These are some extra in case I need them. But I have some jars heating up here in my canner. And I'm going to go ahead and get started on the brine. The brine, I'm going to take 3 cups of sugar, about 5 teaspoons of dry mustard powder, and I'm going to add to that 5 cups of white vinegar. I'm just going to mix all this together and bring it to like a boil, just for probably like a minute. Once this comes to a boil, I'm going to just turn off the heat and add the vegetables. Hopefully this will be enough liquid. If not, I'll just add some more vinegar until it is. And then I'll bring it back up to a boil it for about 3 or 4 minutes, and then I'll start to fill up my jars. Okay, it's been boiling for a bit, so I took it off the heat. I'm going to add the vegetables now. You can go ahead and add turmeric if you want it to be that bright yellow-green color for relish. I'm not going to use it because I want to use the actual, I want to see the actual color of the peppers and things first and see what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and add all the vegetables now. Ooh. Okay, I added the vegetables, and there's plenty of liquid in here. So, what do you think? Should I add the turmeric for color, or should I leave it this color? I don't know. I think I'm going to leave it this color. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this back up to a boil, and I'm going to at least boil it for about at least 5 minutes, so I'll be back. It's very pretty, but I feel like someone out there is going to be really upset if I don't add the turmeric to it, because you just usually do. So I'm going to go ahead and just add 4 teaspoons of turmeric. Okay, there. Whoever's out there will be freaked out that it's not going to be a nice relish color. Can calm, because I'm going to go ahead and mix this all in, and it'll be a nice relishy color. I guess the turmeric does make it look a little more appealing. I mean, once the cabbage does cook down, it does kind of turn kind of almost a gray color, so it's not as nice looking. And it does make that red and green kind of really pop out of there from the peppers. So I'm going to keep just stirring this around, and since it's starting to boil, I'm going to just turn the heat down a bit and let it simmer for about 5 minutes or so. Using the Tatler lids, I have them in a bowl here all washed and clean when I put some water that I heat up on an electric kettle over them. If you're wondering why I do that, it's because I got instructions when I ordered these with them that said to do this. So let them sit there and, I guess, soften up a bit and get hot before I put them on the jars. I'm boiling for 5 minutes, but I'm going to let it go just for a little bit more. So while this is boiling away, I'm going to get the jars out. Jars in here heating up, so I'm going to go ahead and take them out and get them ready. It's been about 8 minutes or so. I think that's good enough. So I'm going to go ahead and get this off the heat and start filling up my jars. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and scoop some out here. Just fill up my jar to 1/2 inch. Got a chopstick here that I'm going to use to push it down in there and swirl it around to debubble. Make sure there's no air pockets or anything. And so that's about pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and fill up all my jars here, and I'll be back. I have them all filled up, so I'm going to go ahead and wipe all the rims off and then go ahead and put the lids on. Okay, now I can go ahead and put the lids on. Cleaned them all off. Grab a ring. Actually, this water might not be that hot still. Okay, cool. I can just grab a lid in there. I have lots of videos on how to do the Tatler lids and put them together in case you're wondering. But they work just like the other lids pretty much. Put them on, a little loose, and then tighten them up when I get them out of the canner. My water's boiling really well. I'm going to go ahead and put these in. And it's going to be 15 minutes because I live above 1,000 feet. If you live below 1,000 feet, it's only 10 minutes. If you live above 6,000 feet, it is 20 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and get all these in here, and I'll be back. They're all in. I'm going to go ahead and time it for 15 minutes, and I'll be back. It's been 15 minutes. I have the heat off. I'm just letting them sit here for about 5 minutes or so until they cool down a bit, and then I'll take them out. It's been about 6 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and take them out, and then I'm going to tighten down the lids the rest of the way because these are Tatler lids. I have them out. I have the lids tightened down. So if you want to see how to do the Tatler lids, I have lots of videos where I use them. They're pretty easy. Just take them out and then tighten them down the rest of the way. So these all look pretty good, and I will come back tomorrow and see if they are all sealed. The next day, and I took all the rings off and labeled them, all of them sealed except for this one. This one didn't seal. When I went to take the ring off, it came off. So apparently something happened and it didn't seal. Although maybe is there a crack on there? I don't know. I don't know what happened. Sometimes that just happens though. But anyway, so that's kind of not such a disappointing thing because I can try it out now. I'm going to take this and put it in my refrigerator, and the rest of it I can put in my pantry. This is mostly, like peppers. Usually Chow Chow has green tomatoes and some other things too. But it's just, an end of the garden season kind of relish you just make out of things. Take this and put it on some beans and buckwheat that I made. Need some hot sauce. Really good. Thought I'd share making some pickle relish and how I like to use it with different things. You can use this with really anything. I use it to flavor my beans and my rice and stuff like that. But you can put it with hot dogs, hamburgers, fish. You can make like potato salads and chicken salads and things like that, and tuna salads, and use it in that. It's just good. It's good with everything, just like you would other relish. Have a wonderful day.